Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. We're here tonight for two special proclamation presentations, and then we're going to have a flag raising. First let me explain why the council's not here. Well, Vero's here. Three of them are with the auditors on an audit exit conference, and three are upstairs going over the agenda for tonight, so it's a busy night. Otherwise, they would be here. So first up, we're going to give a Mayor's Award for Excellence in Community Service to Siwa Diwali and Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA. Hope I said that right. Whereas Siwa Diwali is an initiative by the Hindu American community to serve people in need through food drives and other endeavors. Siwa is an act of selfless service embedded in Hindu tradition and culture. Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights that celebrates the victory of light over darkness. And whereas Siwa Diwali and Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh USA, HSS, serves the Woodbridge Township community by partnering with We Feed Woodbridge to collect 13,000 pounds of food, as well as donating 32 $20 ShopRite gift cards, along with promoting the mental and physical well-being of our members of our community through the Health for Humanity Yogathon. Now, therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Woodbridge Township Council, do hereby salutes Siwa Diwali for their dedication to mission and purpose and extend best wishes and safe passage in all future endeavors. So this is a group, you heard the details. Every year they have the food drive right around the time we do We Feed Woodbridge, and they collect a lot of food. We go over to the to School 2018 in the parking lot, collect it, we come down there, we thank them, we take a bunch of pictures, we put it all over Facebook, and show our appreciation for the job that they do. And what I love is that there's as many kids there as there are adults there. And I think that is so very important that the kids, like you guys right here, get to see what it means to have that selfless dedication to charity, and that's so important. So I want to thank you for everything you do on behalf of the Woodbridge community, and you can have as many people as you want come up. Who wants to be the spokesman? I guess that's you. Is there a spokesperson? Anybody? Everybody come up. Well, let's everybody come up and get behind me. We're going to take a picture. We're going to take a picture. Come on up, kids. No, not yet.
Sorry.
So, how about you be the spokesperson? Come here a minute. Tell me about the food drive. Get real close. Were you there?
Yeah, I'm mostly there. It's kind of fun helping others when they're in need. So yeah.
And tell me, if you go to bed hungry and wake up the next day and go to school, what goes on?
Then I would be tired.
Right. And what else? Can you concentrate on your studies?
No.
Why?
Because for a body to work and stuff, you need energy.
That's right. Who told you that?
Science.
Oh, science told you that. Okay. No, that's the perfect answer. Nobody can concentrate on studies if you don't have a good breakfast, and right, if you don't get a good lunch, you can't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had fun doing it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember collecting?
Like food.
Like what?
Spaghetti, cereal.
Spaghetti, cornflakes?
Yeah.
Get any Frosted Flakes?
I don't remember.
Oh, all right. That's the important one. Frosted Flakes are the best. All right. Well, thank you very much. What's your name? And where do you go to school?
IMS.
Oh, IMS. Okay. Are you in any other clubs there?
The garden.
I was just going to ask you if you're in the garden club, because that's such a great club. And have you been to the Garden for the Blind?
No.
You will. Yeah, the club always goes to the Garden for the Blind. There's actually a garden in Island, right down the road in the library, there's Braille, where they used to say like Rose or Petunia or Daisy. All the flowers are in Braille, so that somebody who's blind can go through, smell the flowers, and read it with their thumb or wherever they read, and they get to experience that and know what they're doing. So it's a wonderful thing for the community. So you'll be there cleaning up before the school year's out, I guarantee it. Well, thank you very much.
We did participate in the Colonia game.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, you were there. I saw you there, yeah, at the Shaughnessy Park. So what else? Tell me about the yogathon. I don't think you do yoga, do you?
I think I was there for 1 week.
Oh, you were? Did you get hurt? If I went, I'd get hurt. That's why I don't do yoga. I would hurt, I would stretch a muscle, I'd pull a muscle, I'd sprain something, it would be terrible. So I don't do that. Tell me about the yoga though. Because I know you have somebody.
So, hello everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the Mayor of Woodbridge, Mayor McCormick, and entire Woodbridge City Council members. We are from Hindu section. We started our chapter here in Woodbridge, Disney, in December of 2006. And since then, we have been doing different programs. One of them, famous program I think Mayor has many times attended, is appreciation of the teachers in Hindu tradition. And we do a lot of yogathons also. The last, just between January, Surya Namaskar Yajna that we call, sun salutations. So last 10 years we have been doing that. And it is happening nationwide in 33 states. We totally doing more than 10 million Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. And last month, in February, we did 3 yogathons in different schools. And a lot of people attended. And so these kind of programs we do. Seva Diwali is one of them that we started 3-4 years back. So some Hindu organizations came together and said how we can give it back to the society. And then we decided to serve the food. And so since 2018, it was done only in New Jersey, and we collected around 18,000 pounds. And the following year, we did it in 7 states in Northeast. And last year, that is in 2021, we did it in 33 states, and more than 240 pantries we gave the food to, and maybe more than 15,000-20,000 community people got together and did so. We collected around 596,000 pounds of food and donated nationwide. In New Jersey, it was 150,000, and as Mayor suggested, 13,000 was we did.
Very good.
That is the whole.
Very good. You're going to stand right in the middle, right on that little thing there, and hold this up, and everybody can kind of get around you. Young lady, come over here to stand next to her. All right, and everybody else kind of get tighter. You go into, we'll take pictures, you go into. Take one out first.
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
All right, now let's sneak in. I'm good. I can be seen from space.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Okay, now wait right there. Let me just ask Vera Patel, who is our 4th Ward Council person, co-president, and Menlo Park Territory. You want to say a few words?
Yeah, I would like to thank you, HSS. I have known them for years, I think. I have attended many of their actually annual functions they would do with the children, I think, with the yogations and all those physical, I think, what you call disciplines they teaches. It's one of the most, I think, renowned, I would say, organization we have here. It's very active. They do many events together, and I would like to thank all the leadership. I think a lot of them are my good friends. So, and I have seen them. It's a great thing, and I think I'm with you. This year did, I think, work together, and I think next year we want to do, I think, a little bit earlier, and we want to make it maybe more like expandable with the money and all the food. But anyway, and I would like to thank you, Mayor and administration, for coming out and at least appreciating this group for their good work. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. All right, next we'd like to have this proclamation to proclaim National Autism Awareness Month, April 2022. I'd like to call up our Assembly Speaker, Craig Coughlin, to join me up here. Whereas the Autism Society of America is the nation's oldest leading grassroots autism organization with the goal to further increase awareness about autism signs, symptoms, and opportunities through information and referrals, events, printable and digital resources, and community partnerships with businesses and organizations dedicated to building inclusive experiences. Emily, that's a handful here. Whereas the Woodbridge Township Parents Organization for the Program for the Advancement of Children's Education, POAC and PACE, along with teachers, professional staff, parents, and students from Matthew Jago School 28 and throughout Woodbridge Township in concert with national, state, and local organizations and associations dedicated to public awareness of autism, provide training courses, support groups, disability awareness events, and social events as part of school and community-based outreach to raise awareness of the needs of families parenting autistic children. And whereas POAC and PACE, in concert with the Autism Society, celebrate Autism Awareness Month via the 4th annual Celebrate Differences campaign, designed to build a better awareness of the signs, symptoms, and realities of autism, and with the annual Autism Awareness Month flag raising, which symbolizes a commitment to educate and inform the community about the impacts of autism and the efforts of the families and patients experiencing autism. And now, therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in conjunction with the Town Council, do hereby proclaim the first day of April through the 30th day of April in the year 2022 to be Autism Awareness Month in Woodbridge Township. So this is a big deal. We are very, very proud of our relationship with the autism groups. We have a fantastic school system for autistic kids. We have a fantastic community for autistic kids. We do so much here, and I'm so proud of that. You've got Buddy Ball, you've got the RISE program, we've got now the day camp for adults 21 and over with autism, our house over in Cypress Center in Fort Reading. The RISE kids have the cafe. I'm convinced people move to Woodbridge if they have kids with autism because of all the programs that our school district offers and that our community offers. We got the level playing field at Cypress for the autistic kids. We've got so many different things we do. So Craig, would you like to supplement that?
Well, sure. Thank you, Mayor, and thanks everybody for coming out today. This really is a special event and a big deal. We are so incredibly fortunate to have such great leadership here in the Township of Woodbridge, who's committed to reaching out to the autistic community and doing just the things that we ought to be doing in so many places in so many ways to recognize the needs and to care for the people who are such a vital part of our community. So to all the parents and all of the autistic young kids are here today. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for letting me have a couple minutes of your time. And Mayor, to you and to the Township, thanks for all that you do.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to raise the flag, but first I'd like to take a picture of all the kids here with the proclamation. So Ryan, come up. Emily, Alexandra, Erica, the Coat Boys, Preston. Could they get them all? Come on all up. Eminem, why don't you hold the, Emily, you go right here. You go in the middle, right in the middle, Em. No, hold this, right in the middle. All right. No, come on, hold it in front of you here. That's what I'm talking about. Let's take a picture of you guys first, then we'll jump in. All right, let's go on to Ryan holding it. Now one with the other three guys holding it. Make it like a hot potato. Pass it around. All right, let's go raise the flag. What do you say? Come on over. You guys, right in the middle. You know, yeah. Emily, really good.
Squeeze it. Squeeze.
Emily has a very important role here. She's hiding my belly.
That's a big job.
Did you say that's a big job? I can make my own jokes. I don't need them from you. All right, let's go raise the flag. All right, just one quick thing I want to say that everybody just reminded me, Mary did, and Victoria did. This is the 15th year we're raising the flag for Autism Awareness Month. They started way back in 2007. So this is the 15th anniversary of this, which we're proud to do, and I'm thrilled that we're doing it. Okay, when I say 3, you guys pull the rope down, okay?
Ready, guys?
Use 2 hands. Use 2 hands.
Two hands, JoJo and
Okay,
Jonathan.
1, 2, 3. Pull. Pull. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Wow. Wow. Wait. I can't see with the sun. Tell me when they're far enough. Keep going. Hey guys, great job. Thank you. Give me 5. Give me 5. Great job. All right.
Please stand as we pledge for our flag, and as we remain standing as we honor those who are serving both here and abroad in our military and those that are suffering from COVID throughout the country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Sharkey ordinances and resolutions, please.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have...
Attendance, I'm sorry. Attendance. Attendance. Oh,
No, I do this first.
thank you. Okay, gotcha.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The annual notice schedule was published in the Homeland Tribune and Star Ledger on December 10th, 2021. A copy of the schedule was posted on the municipal building bulletin board, and it should be noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller?
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan?
Here.
Councilman Patel?
Here.
Councilman Anderson?
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus?
Here.
Councilman Small?
Here.
Councilwoman McCullough? Here. Vice President Becerra? And President Bell. So we will begin the meeting with 4 second reading ordinances. We're going to take letters A and B together as they are both amendments to Chapter 7 of the revised ordinances, both with regard to parking. With that said, we're going to take letters A and B as consent. The first is an amendment to add handicap parking on Holly Street and Russell Street. The second is adding parking for a charging station at 105 Avenel Street. Can I get a motion to take these ordinances up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letters A and B only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments or questions from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is an ordinance adopting amendments to Chapter 150 of the Township Code entitled Land Use and Development and the Zoning Law. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Letter D is an ordinance adopting one Woodbridge Center Drive redevelopment plan pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter D only.
Good evening, Tom Maris, Forge, New Jersey. Can we get an explanation as to exactly what the redevelopment plan is for 1 Woodbridge Center Drive?
Sure, Mayor, on this one, I know we talked about it, has something to do with parking over,
It's the Woodbridge Center Drive, the Lux Apartments, next to Lux Apartments in Woodbridge Center. They would like to put a self-storage facility.
That's it.
that's it.
Good idea, by the way. Thank you.
Any other comment?
Paul Lund, Hope Lund. Just piggybacking on the new set of storage units. Another set of storage units have gone up recently, or are about to, in Hope Lawn, another one on Route 9 near the old Sims.
This is on this ordinance only.
Right, and I'm talking about this ordinance in regards to still more storage facilities.
But it's only on the ordinance for this specific self-storage place.
Yes,
You
specifically
can talk about
this-
that during the general meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. For this specific storage facility next to Lux Apartments, any reason why we have such a huge demand of storage units in Woodbridge? And I know it may be something you may or may not be able to answer, but since you guys approve these types of things, I was wondering if you had any comment there.
Well, I think you find that in just about any township, storage is having storage is at a premium nowadays. And so if someone comes in to develop next to an apartment complex, you have people that are moving from the city or might be moving from a home into an apartment, and they have need for a storage unit.
It goes hand in hand with development.
I'm sorry?
It goes hand in hand with more units, more development, more moving in, and so forth.
You'll always see a need for storage units. They're coming up everywhere.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Councilman Anderson, Council President, because once you're a Council President, you're always a Council President. Just on a personal note, I recently went to 2 of my self-storage units in my fire district that aren't near any recently constructed residential development, and I was put on a waiting list. So if the wait is there, if the want is there, then God bless them.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Vitale, Woodbridge. Of course, storage unit, warehousing storage is a prime. We all know that it's very expensive, probably better investment in apartments. But again, next to the high-class so-called development or rentals, I think would degrade the whole area, putting some storage units next to those fancy apartments. I think that people that live around it, I don't think would be, you put additional apartments like that, I could see it, but storage, it's kind of degrading, I think, for the area. Thank you.
Are there any other comments on letter D? Hearing no comments from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second. Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Tonight we have 3 first reading ordinances, letter E, F, and G. Can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on April 22nd, 2022, with notice of public hearing held on May 3rd, 2022 at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Second. Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Yes, sir. Question. Mr. Maris, you had...
Yes, I'm sorry, there was a letter G.
That was said, Mr. Maris.
Yeah,
That was
she
said.
included that.
Sorry?
She included G.
Which included G?
On the first reading ordinance, letters E, F, and G.
Okay, I am terribly sorry. I
That's
misread.
okay.
My fault. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem.
But it's an interesting one.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Before you have 33 items listed by resolution. Can I get a motion by consent to approve the 33 items?
Motion.
I have, excuse me, I'm sorry, I have to recuse myself on item 8.
8.
Councilman.
And I'm number 33, I'll be abstaining from.
Councilman Anderson.
So question or comments from council?
Councilman Anderson, thank you. One comment on resolution number 20 regarding the township working with the Turnpike Authority on the flag permit for the Port Reading Avenue Bridge. I want to thank the mayor and the administration for securing a process to get the American flags, only the American flags on the Port Reading Avenue Bridge. Obviously, it's something we've done with the C. Warren Ave Bridge. Mr. Hummel started it after 9/11. It's been something that our residents and our veteran organizations have really appreciated. And now that we're involved, I don't want to say that it wasn't done in the right way, but now if anybody has any comments or concerns, they can go right to the township. And I want to really thank the mayor and administration for spearheading that project. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Councilman Anderson?
At this time, we'll go into our public portion of the meeting. Please state your name and the part of town you are from. You have a one-time 5-minute time period. All videotaping must be taken from within the designated area, which is over there by the blue ribbon, and in the rear of the room. Will there be no shouting from your seats? Please respect each other and make sure all signs or posters do not block wallway or aisles. Thank you.
Good evening again. Tom Maris, Fords, New Jersey. I'll ask 4 questions. Would you like them all at one time, or should I stagger them? Actually, I want to get them all in, so let me go ahead and just ask them. There seems to be a disconnect between the Woodbridge Board of Education and the McCormick administration regarding the development of the current Ross Street School parking lot. The BOE administration claims they are unaware of plans by the McCormick administration or the redevelopment agency to allow a 92 or 95 unit, I would imagine tax abated, to be built on the current school parking lots. That development would require teachers and or staff to park on the new proposed North James parking lot, which I believe will be 5 stories and 250 spaces. We've talked about this here before the council and the administration. They have affirmed that there is plans to put up an apartment complex there, and yet the school board is totally unaware of it. Can you explain how that is, since we have at least one member of the board that is an employee of the school district, and we have 2 Board of Education members who are employees of the administration, or the municipal government, I should say. With regard to the concern, and they are sincere, and I know it's a terrible thing, of radiation or other contaminants at or around Colonia High School, please address the following. What is the township's, municipal, and/or school district's liability if the school or other areas of the Colonia area, or that area of Colonia, are contaminated? What expenses has the McCormick administration incurred to perform testing at the school or elsewhere in the Colonia area related to concerns about the contamination and the cause of the brain tumors? If the school and its grounds are being tested, should not the school district be liable for such testing? How will the McCormick administration handle the cost of testing private property if they intend to do that, and how so? Third, Vito Mazda development, which will be heard, I believe, tomorrow night by the planning board, I believe is calling for 64 approximately parking spaces in the proposed 5-story, 250 space parking lot on North James Street. What expenses will Vito Mazda be liable for getting parking spaces within that structure, since it's going to be paid for, I believe, by the taxpayers? And finally, will there be a legalized marijuana store on Main Street next to or in the approximate area of the old karate store going up to Amboy Avenue on Main Street? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maris. First question I will speak to, you mentioned there's a disconnect between the McCormick administration and the Board of Education with regard to the development of the apartments. Mr. Mayor, I'm not aware that the Board of Education was not aware of any development in that area.
No, they were, the prior superintendent and his administration was fully aware. We had numerous meetings with them. I will admit that since the new superintendent took over in July, we have not had detailed conversations. We will, and maybe we should have by now, but the plans were all approved by the Board of Education through the prior superintendent. So that's factual.
If I may, I have OPRs that'll show that they absolutely deny having any prior knowledge, and they have never discussed it, and they've never talked to anybody outside, so they're totally unaware of it. And
Well, I don't know who you asked, but as I said, the prior superintendent had numerous meetings with us to go over it, as well as with the
My
principal
5
of
minutes,
Street
please
School.
don't interrupt me. Thank you. If you have something else to say, please wait till I'm done. Of
As I
course, you-
said, the prior superintendent has had numerous conversations with us over the years,
And next
along
time
with the
I'll bring the
principal of
Oprah
Ross.
request with
I'm
me and
not,
I'll
don't
read it
interrupt me.
back. I'll bring your Oprah request with me next time and read them back to you and show you.
I don't
the
know who
dates.
answered the Oprah request or what it said,
They
but I
did.
said
Board
the
of
prior
Education.
superintendent knew
Fine.
all about this.
Well, the current one doesn't.
I didn't say that.
And the business administrator has been there prior to.
I didn't
the
say
new
that he knows it.
superintendent.
I didn't say he knows it.
Oh, okay.
I said the superintendent and the principal know.
Isn't that rather embarrassing that they don't know?
That's
And
up to
you're
the
gonna
prior superintendent, not to me.
Put 4 stories and 90-some-odd units right across from the school. Right. All right. Number 2?
So number 2, with regard to the liability if contaminated, right now, Mr. Maris, we don't know that. We don't know, one, if the property is contaminated. It's being studied right now.
Right.
Your next question about that was regard to the expenses. I think it's been well publicized that approximately $200,000 has been appropriated for T&M associates to go and do radon testing, as there are radon canisters all throughout the school. And they're right now in the process of doing field study.
At whose expense? That was one of the questions. Is the
So-
township taxpayers paying, or is the school board paying for it since it's their property?
The township is taking care of it, and Mr. Mayor, yeah. Yep.
Through the general fund?
Township right now has that, we've appropriated those funds for that.
Will you build back the school for it once it's done, since it is their property?
Yep, your time is up, sir.
Yeah, I figured it would be. Thank you.
John Rotaric, about 2-3 questions. On many occasions, I did ask the school board, are they aware of it, of 94 units apartments were coming there, and they did admit it, that they do own the property, and they were not aware of it, that anything's going there. So my question would be, why would the mayor already say that they would be built there if the school board even maybe don't have intention of selling it? That's the one question. Second question would be on a school, Colonia High School. People be calling up, and there's nobody to blame. Believe me, there's nobody, people at this place should be blamed. What's happening there could happen to anybody. So I don't think mayor or anybody should be blamed what's happening. But if you talk to the old teachers, and this town was 60 years, and on certain occasions, I have teachers that I knew personally, some of most are retired now, that they have a problem with certain schools. One was in Ford, for example. The teacher was getting sick, and he wanted to get transferred. The long story was that finally he got transferred. He was, I believe, was sent to Israeli Middle School. I think that all schools should be tested, especially all schools. And I did say that at the Board of Education meeting the other night, not just the Colonia High School, I think every old building in the township that we have should be tested, not just for the radon or methane gas or anything else, for anything that's in the ground. Because when they built those schools 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, who knows what's underneath it? And to my own experience from back in Europe and here, they would put those schools on the properties that probably least desirable to put anything else but the public buildings. Who knows what's underneath it? So please, Colonia High School may be not contaminated, but those kids that came from other schools to Colonia High School, they might be in their school, grammar school, middle schools. And we talk about the money. I think money should be the object, let's find out what's going on, because it's not a couple of people, we talk about hundreds of people, so it's a really serious situation. So let's get to it, and please do not blame anybody what's happened. Let's find out, and personally, we should worry about our money, but again, whatever it costs, let's get it done, because we talk about Woodbridge residents, we talk about the young kids, and who knows how bad, maybe not be bad at all, but let's find out first. Thank you.
Councilwoman Meehan, do you want to speak to any of it regarding Colonia High School?
I do have a comment for later.
Do it for later. Okay.
The administration is working really hard with the state and with the federal. Nobody wants to hear about this, but it's something that's come up, and we are doing every single thing we can. Listen, my children went to Colonia High School. All of my friends and their children have either gone to high school or their children have gone to Colonia High School. So it is a huge concern to me personally, and I just think we are working as hard as we can and as quickly as we can and as precisely as we can to get an answer. And we hope everything comes back, and we're just going to wait day to day. That's the only thing we can do until all these results come back. And the money we spend, well, it's money well spent, because we have to make sure today that all those children are safe.
Council President, if I could answer the first question with the same answer I gave to the last question. We went over all the plans, all the maps, all the drawings, everything with the prior superintendent and with the principal of Rock Street School. Who the superintendent or principal chose to share that with is completely up to them, not up to me. The new superintendent is in the 10th month. It wasn't the most important thing when he came on to start learning that, but he took over a school district with 14,000 kids and 25 buildings. Now that the project is back on the front burner and going before the board, now is the time to probably sit with the new superintendent and anybody he would like to sit with to talk about the project. So they were fully aware, 100% fully aware, not the current superintendent, but the prior superintendent. And if I'm at fault for not briefing him sooner, I apologize, but there wasn't the rush because the project had not been moving forward. Now it is. We will sit down. We would never, based on our relationship of a long time with the school board, we would never just do something on their property without telling them. That is preposterous for anybody to think we would do that.
Excuse me, there's people be calling up with their concern because they go back as 50, 60 years. They're mentioning Colonia pipeline. They're mentioning that there was Air Force Base during the World War II over there someplace. They the artillery ammunition depot. So people calling back, I'm sure they're calling you too.
Colonial pipeline is nowhere near Colonia.
Of those grounds before they even built the school.
The Colonial pipeline is nowhere near Colonia.
High school.
The Colonial pipeline is nowhere near Colonia.
Colonia High School.
Nowhere near Colonia, period.
Your time has expired,
How
Mr.
did the
Vitara.
Polo got in trouble?
Your time has expired, Mr. Vitara.
Paul Lund, Hope Lawn. I had a question. I heard there's some legislation pending at the state level, and since we have Mr. Coughlin here, I want to ask what the justification for the hour later start. I believe it's for high schoolers or includes middle schoolers, and just wanted to preface that with my experience as a teacher is that a lot of students they share with me what they're doing at 2 and 3 in the morning, whether it be a Call of Duty or texting their friends or Fortnite or what have you. And I'm wondering, again, what is the rationale, since starting a school an hour later also puts the staff out an hour later? Since students tend to stay up, some students tend to stay up wee hours in the morning, what is it really going to accomplish other than giving them more accommodation for not exercising a little more self-discipline?
Well, I'm here in the capacity of a lawyer, and so I'd be happy to talk to you about it. If you want to give my office a call, we can sit down, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I'll simply put, the purpose of this is to provide for the well-being. There's study after study, scientific evidence that's abundant that talks about how it's better for the students. And so the question really is, do you want and we're trying to help out with food, food insecurity by providing free lunch and breakfast. And so the simple question you need to ask yourself first and foremost is, do you want high school students who are well-fed and well-rested, or tired and hungry? If you answer that question in the latter, then we have the disconnect. So, but I'm happy to talk to you about it somewhere else. Okay? Thanks.
The other point I want to bring up, I just heard on Fox News that 9,900 last year, in 2020 actually, last year that the Department of Justice had statistics, 9,900 black men, women, and children were murdered. And typically at the hands of people in the same neighborhood. In other words, it's a lot of violence done toward the black population, by the black population. It's epidemic, and even Mayor Adams of New York City called out the fact that organizations like BLM are silent on black lives unless a white cop is involved. And that again, that's what I'm hearing in the media. And yet there's people who come to this meeting regularly who seem to be more concerned that the profile of this group of 9 council people doesn't accurately reflect the demographics of the community that they serve. In other words, according to the census in 2020, there are 11.9% black African American. If you take the 12% of the 9, then you would expect to have 1.08 black American, which I think unless a DNA test suggests otherwise, we have that covered. There's 23% Hispanics in Woodbridge now, so we should have 2 Hispanics on the council. There's 23% Asian, so we should have another Asian American on the council. But my view of diversity has always been more in line with what Abraham Lincoln believed, a team of rivals. In the multitude of counselors, you have safety. Meaning, Mr. Mayor, since 10,000 votes go your way in a typical election and 3,000 votes go our way meaning Republican, wouldn't it behoove you to maybe back among your teams 3 Republicans the next election cycle?
I don't judge people by their political party. I don't ask people their political party. I don't know their political party, so I don't care what party they are, and I will make no attempt to balance it by political party, no matter.
Okay. That's a very direct response. But you're saying that politics in this body is not important, whether it's Democrat, a view of the world, or a Republican?
Locally, I agree. Nationally, there's differences between the parties. I agree statewide there's differences between the parties. I don't think that people care locally what the parties are. I think they elect the best people, and we govern not because of our political party affiliation. We govern by doing the right thing. As somebody said, I think it was Tim O'Neill, there's no Democratic or Republican way to fill a pothole. You just fill the pothole. I don't care what party people are. On who I hire, I don't ask people when they come to me with a problem, what party are you? I don't ask people when they call or text or email. It's of no concern to me what political party people are, and I will not make any decisions based on that.
Very good, thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Frank Trubator, Woodbridge, New Jersey. Good evening, Council. Many times I stand up here and I speak for people who won't come here and speak for themselves. They catch me down on Main Street and they tell me what's bugging them. And they ask me to speak for them. Tonight I'm here on 2 things. Number 1, the furious people about the sexual orientation of their children. They are very angry that our school systems are about to teach 5-year-olds that they don't have to remain in the same sex that they were born in. These are children who still believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, but now you're going to tell a boy that he can go in and have his sexual organs removed and become a girl. How do we stand up to this? What are you going to tell these parents? These parents are angry. They are talking about arresting the teachers as they come out of school. They are talking about arresting the principals as they come out of school. They want to make a civilian arrest and bring them to the police. These are what your citizens are saying on Main Street. Now, is this council going to stand up to the sexual grooming of our children, or are we going to turn them into hookers? This is what the citizens want to know. Our education system has gone down the toilet. They can't spell Constitution, but you have teachers demonstrating fellatio in the front of the class with boy students. This is reported. This is public news, and everybody is responsible for this that's in the education system. And it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. You want to do it in college? Go ahead. You want to do it in high school? Go ahead. But 5-year-olds? These people are angry, and I believe they have a right. If they want to make a citizen's arrest of the teachers, they should. Catch them on the way out of school. Hook them up and bring them to the police. That's number one. Number two, Murphy is in North Jersey right now, screaming about gun control again, yet he's the one that let everybody out of prison. He can't keep drugs out of the prisons. What's he going to do about guns? He wants to disarm the general public so he can turn us into Shanghai or Australia or New Zealand, and that is not going to be acceptable either. The sexual orientation of our little ones must be stopped. Murphy must be arrested for the mass murder of 8,000 seniors that has never been addressed, and our Department of Justice and our law enforcement ignore this mass murderer in Trenton. He killed them. He stuck them in Care 1 and locked the door. Sounds like Shanghai, where they welded the doors shut and people are jumping out of windows because they're starving to death. He's pulling the same stunt here in New Jersey. How did he get away with it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what your citizens are saying. They tell me. They don't have the guts to tell you. But let me tell you, got a lot of angry people out there, and they want answers. Thank you.
I'll just make one comment. Mr. Tramador, despite which news network that you watch, what you just said was completely false. It was 100% false.
No, it's not,
Now,
sir.
as you know, the governor has already made comment to readdress this to make sure that when that kind of lesson that you're talking about, those kinds of lessons, that's not a part of the curriculum, all right?
Prove it.
I don't have to prove anything to you right now. It's not being taught in our classrooms.
I don't believe you. I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments?
I do, but I'm not allowed.
Hearing no other comments, can I get a motion that the public comment portion of the meeting be closed?
Motion.
Second. Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay.
Councilman Anderson?
At this time, we will go to our agendas. We'll start with Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 13 on my agenda, Marine 8, which is Port Reading Fire's rescue boat, went into service yesterday. It patrols the waters from the Carteret line all the way up to the Edison line. We're all water emergencies. Number 17, the American Irish. Unfortunately, I wasn't here the last few meetings. I just want to commend them for a great job they did, as always, with their parade. It was outstanding. We had a great day, and it was great to be out on the streets again with the people of Woodbridge. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Mitch's mom passed away. She was laid to rest today. So thoughts and prayers to the Mitch family. Director Hubner, two questions. One, is the blue line set to be painted sometime next week? It is. It is. Thank you. And number two, I want to commend you for your article in the Woodbridge and Colonia Corner. I think it took a lot of guts to write that, but it's reality. So congratulations. I ask that you keep your thoughts and prayers to the people of the Ukraine. God bless our police officers, firefighters, EMTs, and God bless America. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Item number 5, Police Community Relations. The Senior Police Academy applications are now being accepted. Classes will be held every Tuesday for the month of May from 8:30 to 12 p.m. Please call 732-726-2328 for more information. Item number 9, the Barron Arts Center is hosting American Artist Dawn Arena Natural Curiosities. It will be on view from now until May 13th. Also, the Woodbridge Township 42nd Annual Senior Citizens Exhibition Senior Art Show is now accepting application. The exhibit will be from May 18th through May 27th. Please call 732-634-0413 for more information. Item number 10, the library, all new Woodbridge Library ESL and digital literacy for workforce development class registration will be closed April 30th. Call Habiba Abbas of Literacy New Jersey at 732-906-5456. The Friends of the Library book sale will be held next week from Thursday, April 28th through Sunday, May 1st on the ground floor of the main library. And on Tuesday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m., the main library will host a meetup for entrepreneurs and small business owners on the topic of word-of-mouth marketing. The Alignable Business Alliance of Woodbridge and Middlesex County meetups offer free networking, information exchange, and a book of your choice from the Friends of the Library. And this month in April, as we know, this is spring break for all of our schools, so all the youth centers are closed. Elementary Day will be Monday, April 25th for Highland Grove Youth Center. Acacia Plant a Flower Day will be Tuesday, April 26th from 3 to 6 for middle school students. Highland Grove will hold Mario Kart tournament, and that's also Tuesday, April 26th from 3 to 6 for middle school students. They will also have a breakfast for dinner at Highland Grove on Wednesday, April 27th from 3 to 8. Evergreen Trivia Game Day will be Wednesday, April 27th from 3 to 6, and that's for middle school students. Acacia's Elementary Day will be Thursday, April 28th. Ford's Middle School Teen Night at Acacia will be Friday, April 29th. And Evergreen will host a basketball tournament on Friday, April 29th. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Philip.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Just one quick comment regarding the one resident, Mr. Lund, who decided to leave before we hit our agenda session. I've always known what I was told, learning. The local level has always been about being personal, one-on-one. The national level is Republican, Democrat. When you get to the local level, it's about your neighbor, your whatever, But he had said, why isn't there more Republicans? And I'll only touch on this because I was one of the 5 candidates that ran just 4.5 months ago in November. And the Republican Party put up 4 out of 5. They didn't even put up anybody against Councilman Patel. And we all won. We all won overwhelmingly. So the Republican Party, they can, say, why isn't there more people reflecting on this dais, on this council? But, well, the residents spoke. So you can tell Mr. Riddle on that. So that's all I have to say on that. Thank you. Item number 2, Avenel Arts Village, APAC. Max Winfrey is at Avenel Performing Arts Center this weekend, April 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Mr. Winfrey was selected out of one of 70,000 acts to be a semifinalist on the hit NBC show America's Got Talent. You can visit www.avenelarts.com for ticket information. Item number 2, Woodbridge Riverwatch, Oros National Park. We have a cleanup this Saturday from 8 to 12. No registration needed. Just if you're available, you want to volunteer, please come out and help clean up the park. More importantly, express our condolences to Mr. Mitch and his family on the loss of his mom, Dorothy. She was a longtime staple on Avenel. So again, thoughts and prayers. God bless America. God bless our police officers, our firefighters, our emergency services, and that's all I have. Councilman Anderson, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meek.
Thank you. Going down to number 9 on my agenda is Veterans Affair. We will be hosting Support the Troop Rally again this year on Wednesday, May 11th at 6 o'clock at the George Frederick Plaza, which is located behind Woodbridge Library, or in between Woodbridge Library and Woodbridge High School. If you know of somebody actively serving our country and would like their names announced during our program, please reach out to me, and you can get me at 732-382-0273. We invite everyone to come out to honor and support not only those that are serving currently, but those that have served in the past. An update on Inman Avenue Library. I'm happy to report that work should soon begin on the roof of the library, which is the first step on getting the library back up and running. The library was badly damaged by floods, the flooding caused by Hurricane Ida last year. Approximately 90% of the money needed to repair the library will be reimbursed by FEMA. We know how much the residents of Colonia enjoy this library, and we're excited to get it back up and running. Hopefully, the library will reopen this year. Residents wanting to use the library can always go over to Woodbridge Main Library. Next Saturday, April 30th, from 2 to 6, we'll be holding a fundraiser to help support PJ Pascali of Iselin that was injured in a terrible car crash in February. PJ has recently been moved to an extended recovery unit for long-term rehab, and the road ahead for him will be very difficult and a long one. So please, if you can come out and support his family on April 30th at the Colonia American Legion. There'll be food, drinks, music, and lots of raffles. The cost per person is $25, and you can pay at the door. And what was brought up before with Colonia High School, I want to thank the mayor and administration who have proactively been responding to the health concerns at Colonia High School. Please know that as we have stated from the start of this health concern, we're doing everything that we can, and that the health and safety of the school community and the Colonia community at large is paramount, and we're taking the information shared very seriously. And lastly, I just, along with my other councilmates, want to send out condolences to John Mitch and the entire Mitch family on the loss of Dorothy Mitch, who was a wonderful woman, like you just said. And that's what I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. This actually comes to me now. I just want to first thank Ms. Sharkey for stepping in a role that she's just started about a year ago, I guess, right? But this is your first meeting.
This is my first meeting.
This is your first meeting, and she's done a great job tonight. And in his absence, I would like to extend condolences to Mr. Mitch and his family. I know what his mother meant to him, and I wish his family well, and my heart goes out to them. With regard to tooling around the township will be taking place this year. That'll be on April 30th. There's very little time, but we need more volunteers. If you can, please contact the township and let us know if you'll be able to volunteer for tooling around the township. Juneteenth will be taking place on June 18th from 12 to 4. Same kind of activities as last year, but bigger and better. And it will be behind Woodbridge High School. And we will be working with some of the high school volunteers there, and we're looking forward to that event. The rest of my agenda is in order, but I do want to make some mention for one of our council members who is absent, Mr. Ficara. So our mini golf and our batting cages are wide open. It's school recess, so please check the rec department schedule. There's still plenty of time to get over and get some swings in, or go out and play a little mini golf. With regard to the Woodbridge Community Center Summer Camp, registration has begun, and there is a $20 reduction for early bird registration. So please contact the rec department with regard to registering for summer camp. And I will move on to Councilman Patel.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is also in order. I would like to just pay my heartfelt tribute to late Miss Dorothy Meach, mother of our Woodbridge Township Municipal Clerk John Meach. I wholeheartedly extend my prayers for her departed soul and express my warmest condolences to her survived family members. That's all for tonight. Thank you.
Councilwoman McCullough?
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Okay, so my agenda is in order. I just have a few things to say today. First, I want to remind everybody that this Saturday, April 23rd, the township will be holding their annual Earth Day Arbor Day celebration from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the town hall parking lot. Come celebrate the planting of the Arbor Day tree. Take home some free tree seedlings along with many green items. Enter into our rain barrel and compost bin raffle and participate in our tour of our newly installed Watson Crampton walking trail through the Blue Acres Woodbridge River wetlands. Number 3, the Chamber of Commerce is holding their 58th annual golf outing on June 13th at the Colonia Country Club. Early bird registration ends on May 1st, so you can log on to the Chamber website to register. The Gallery on Main still has open spots for a free cartooning workshop, which is being held on April 30th for children ages 8 to 12. You can go onto the Woodbridge website in the art section to get the details and to register. On April the 30th, the Acacia Center will be holding a Woodbridge Community Choir at 7:30 p.m. The Acacia Center is on Port Reading Avenue, so if you're interested in listening to some nice music, you should attend that event. Also on this Friday, Relay for Life will be hosting a Paint and Sip fundraiser in memory of past First Ward Councilwoman Nancy Bader Drum. This event will be held at the Woodbridge Elks on Railway Avenue starting at 7 p.m. Come support Relay for Life in honor of Nancy Bader Drum. Also, this Saturday was opening day for the Little League Baseball, and it was actually very exciting to go there and watch the young boys and girls playing alongside one each other, and the enthusiasm of the men and women volunteering their time to coach these young athletes. And that is all I have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. The recreation program is doing an outstanding job, and sorry I missed that. I'd like to move over. Ms. Sharkey, do you have any comments?
Just that we continue to work on number 1, the liquor license changes and transfers. The rest of the clerk's agenda is in order.
Member Cormick?
Thank you, Acting Council President. I'd like to repeat this, what everybody else said about condolences to the Mitch family. We had the pleasure of working with Dorothy Mitch in our office for many years, going back a ways, and she was just terrific, just a wonderful person. Anybody who called, no matter what they were calling about, they could be angry, they could be mad, they talked to her and were fine. She just had a way to deal with people that was absolutely terrific. Congratulations to Cheryl on a very successful first night in the clerk's chair. I crossed off everything as you guys mentioned. The only 2 things I think I would mention is the Elks have a breakfast this Sunday from 8 to 11 for Woodbridge softball, and then next Sunday, May 1st, for Woodbridge baseball. Great breakfast, great time. A quick update on Colonia, so everybody knows if you haven't seen CBS, ABC, NBC, or Fox in the last 7 days, I'll fill you in. And if I'm on those stations, it's never good. The last time I was on was the plane crash. I'm on now for the high school. They never cover us if the Easter Bunny comes to town. They only cover things that are bad, so if it was up to me, I'd never be on those stations. So anyway, back about 4 weeks ago, a little longer, we found out that there was posts on Facebook related to this topic. And Al Lupiano, who was a former resident and former student of Colonia, was the guy leading the charge to get all this research done. I never met him, I don't think, but I know his father very well from the Island VFW, so I called Vinny and got his son's number, called his son, and said, we're happy to help. We learned about what he's doing. Unfortunately, he's got a brain tumor. His wife has a brain tumor, both benign, but his sister did die from brain cancer. He promised her in her deathbed he would look into it and get to the bottom of it, and he started finding dozens of people in Colonia who had either tumors or cancer. Many have passed, and people were starting to report to him. The list kept growing and growing. It's now allegedly over 100 names that he's collected. So it's very serious. We're taking it very serious. I give him credit for doing this. He's a community hero regardless of what the results are, because he took up this issue, he took up this challenge, and is doing a great job publicizing it, and it should be publicized because the more we know, the better. So we immediately contacted T&M Associates. They are our environmental engineers. They're working with us on the Marina project. They work with us on the water company issue back in October. They're experts. They're very, very good. They talked to us and came up with a plan to test the school. They engaged a company called Cabrera as a subcontractor to do the testing. They're doing two things. On April 9th was the first day of the testing. They placed over 100 canisters, little half circles, like little cups, under desks throughout the school, every room, every office, the gym, the auditorium, you name it. And they put them there on the 9th. They're radon detectors. They're going to collect them on Sunday the 24th, and they're going to bring them to whatever the testing laboratory is to have them analyzed. It will take a little while to get that done, and then we will get the results. We'll discuss the results with T&M. We will then discuss the results with the different federal and state agencies that we've been talking to, and at the appropriate time release the results. The second thing that Cabrera is doing is a complete sweep of the entire grounds of the high school. They've got carriages, strollers, but instead of carrying babies, they're carrying gamma meters, essentially Geiger counters, literally across every square inch of the grounds of Colonia High School, 28 acres. They started in the ball fields. We closed them down for the first weekend to get them out of the way, and then the kids can play after that on them. They literally go down just like you're mowing a lawn. You can't leave a strip of grass when you mow your lawn. You got to go over everything and go over it, you know, the same way you do a Zamboni, whatever. That's the last 2 weekends they've done that. They're doing it this weekend, and now they're down to the very hard areas to do, which is basically the woods where they can't go with a stroller, so they've got to do it by hand. They also went through the entire school by hand with these meters, and they measured every piece of tile, every piece of sheetrock, every piece of cement, concrete, you name it. They've tested the whole inside of the school. Those results are being gathered by the meters, and they're going to be sent to a lab in Florida, and those results will come back probably sometime in several weeks, and we'll do the same thing. We talked to the governor's office, Governor Murphy's office. We talked to Congressman Pallone's office, who has been tremendous because, as you know, he is the chairman of the environmental committee in the House. There's 435 House members. He's the one in charge of the environmental committee, and he's our congressman. So when he calls, people tend to pay a lot of attention. So he got the Environmental Protection Agency on the phone with us. He got the Center for Disease Controls on the phone with us. He got an agency called ATSDR, the Agency for Toxic Substance Disease Registry. We, of course, through Governor Murphy's office, got the Department of Health on the phone. We got the Department of Environmental Protection on the phone. We had a group call on April 4th. We informed everybody of what we were going to do April 5th, which is pass the emergency to hire T&M, and everybody concurred that that was the right step to take. The federal government can't act quick, let's face it. The state government can't act quick. We can act quick, and we had the meeting scheduled almost at the perfect time. We passed everything on the 5th. We started on the 9th. So we were very fortunate that we're, as a local government, much more nimble than a state or federal government. The school board is 100% in every conversation. Dr. Massimino is on every call. He's on every Zoom. He's been in our office numerous times. He knows everything that's going on and been a partner with us. Of course, he's got to be involved to schedule everything with the school. So he's been terrific. We are paying the $221,350 so far as the contract for T&M. When it's over, we may need more. We passed $450 just in case. Who pays for it right now is not a concern. Everybody's concerned in the questions that there's people with cancer. I'm not worried about who's paying for the $211,000 right now. I want to get the testing done, and I want to get the results analyzed, and I want to release them. We're going to try for the federal government to get reimbursed. I talked to Cory Booker's office, Senator Booker's office yesterday. They're offering to start the balls rolling to see what they can get. We've talked to Senator Menendez's office. As I said, Congressman Pallone's office has been unbelievable. We'll figure that out when the time comes. The important thing now is to get the work done. So everybody is working together. Everybody's working on the same page. We had a call at 3 o'clock today with the governor's office and the Department of Health and Congressman Pallone's office. We have a meeting with the DEP Friday morning. So we're keeping everybody informed. The important thing is to get this analyzed as quick as possible. And once again, I just want to say that I think Al Lupiano has done a great service for this township by working so well with us. He's not just a random guy who decided to do this. He's personally impacted, but he's also in the field. He's an environmental scientist by career. And as we talk on the phone with somebody from the EPA, I mean, he knows where they work. He knows who they are. He's the perfect guy to be leading the charge here. And he's done a great job. And as I said, whether we find nothing, and I hope we find nothing, or whether we find something, he's still a hero, and he should be thanked for everything he's done. So that's the status. Those of you who don't watch national TV and hear the explanation, now you have it off TV 35. And I was on more TV 35 with just now than I was on the national TV. Some of them give me 6 seconds, some of them give me 30 seconds. You can't explain it all. All they take is little sound bites. So now everybody watching home has the complete story of what's going on. We'll keep you posted. Anybody can call us with questions. Anybody who is asking other people what's going on that don't know what's going on should know they can just call us. They can email us, they can text us, they can do any number of different ways to get a hold of us in the administration, and somebody will call us back. We're getting advice from all over the world, believe it or not. I got a call or an email from somebody in Australia telling me what we should be doing. I got a call or an email from somebody from Brussels. I got a call from Texas today. Most of them, whatever, we don't necessarily need, but we have had a couple of very, very good calls. A doctor from South Jersey called and was really very, was educating us quite well on things we should be looking for. So if anybody has any questions, just reach out for my office, reach out for anybody in the town council. We're happy to explain. Our website has everything. Our social media has everything. If we know it, you know it, as soon as we're allowed to release it. So thank you for the opportunity to explain this.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank you because as we talk to members of the community, and this is, I think, partially why we don't have a room full of people asking questions. It's because you and the administration acted so quickly and swiftly, did not dismiss this individual, and you just jumped on it right away. Like you said, it didn't matter where the funds came from. Naturally, those questions are always going to come up because that's part of the business that we're in. But I think that most of the residents have been very satisfied with the level of communication that the township and the Board of Education have been providing. Living in Colonia and having numerous friends that graduated, especially during that time, because I was in school when Mr. Lupiano was in school, that's a concern. And you're getting those calls from Australia and so forth, and I'm getting emails and calls and Facebook posts from people that are all over our country that all of a sudden know where Colonia, New Jersey is. It's an unfortunate reason for people to know where Colonia, New Jersey is because of that reason. So, but thank you very much for keeping the public informed. Director Hovner.
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 traffic ordinances. Thank you. Director Dar.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Councilman Aaron. Said nothing this evening.
Motion to adjourn? Oh, sorry. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.